Hey guys, Paul from Ashen. It is new comic book day for November 4th, and if you're watching this, the world didn't end. So, cool. This episode brought to you by the comic store, 30 North Main Street, Glasper, New Jersey, 08028. Come buy some comics.
Hype! Hey guys, Tim from Capes and Scowls, and there's a train making a lot of noise, but who cares? We'll power through it. Let's talk about these trades. We got Batman, Superman, Volume 1? Volume 1! Ties in with the Batman Who Laughs. We have Hard Time, the complete series. I don't know, it looked cool. I never read it when it was first out. We have... That train's awesome. We have a Supergirl, Infectious. This is Volume 3 of Supergirl. Has Jodie Hauser, amongst others, in it. We've got Justice League Unlimited, Time After Time. I won't sing the song, but I really want to, and I did sing it earlier. So I totally did. This is a graphic novel for everyone, it says. That's nice. Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 9. 9? Yes, 9. This has a lot of those tie-in issues. The Sins Rising Prelude, issues 44 to 47. Bunch of Spidey. Still Nick Spencer. We have On the Stump. This just looks awesome. It really, really does. Doesn't this look awesome?
It does.
Paul agrees. And then this, I almost read this because it doesn't have any words, but I felt like cheating. It's called Baboon. It's about a baboon fighting his way back to his family, and it just looks awesome. It's just baboon fighting jungle animals to go home.
Like a more violent Homeward Bound?
Yeah. It's kind of like Homeward Bound, but there's just the one.
And it's on mute.
And it's on mute. If you mute Homeward Bound, they throw a punch. I guess you got it. We have Teen Titans, Deathstroke, The Terminus Agenda. This is Damian Wayne all like, I'm gonna kill Slater. And he tries to. We got Thor by Donny Cates. Everybody loved Donny Cates. How you doing, Donny Cates? This is Volume 1. Super good stuff. I've reviewed that before. Marvelverse, Deadpool, and Wolverine. This has a wide range of different books in it. A lot of the Marvel Adventure stuff, so it gears slightly younger. Shouldn't be too much cutting people's heads off. Just a slight amount for the kiddies. Superman, The City of Tomorrow, Volume 2. This is some late action comics before the New 52 happened. It's going to be about that era. Empire, X-Men. I enjoyed Empire quite a bit. You know how I feel about the X-Men. Victor and Nora. This looks really cool. Graphic novel for young adults. Young adult stuff, pretty cool. I'm interested to see how they take that. We have Daphne Byrne, hardcover, part of the Joe Hill House comics. Creepy book. We reviewed issue 1. Strange, I say. And then finally, Dawn of X. Why? Please stop doing this, people. Please don't buy these volumes like this. I think it's a terrible idea, and I don't want to see them do it ever again. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. It's terrible. Don't buy it.
All right, first up we have X of Swords, because I'm a glutton for punishment. X of Swords, this is X-Men issue number 14. This is a very apocalypse-heavy issue. We learned in the previous issues, spoiler alert coming, okay, that the leader of Araco is Apocalypse's long-lost wife. And we learned what happened in the last couple thousand years that they were separated. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's an interesting story. It almost feels like a one-off because and we still haven't gotten to Killing yet, and we're like halfway through the book. So it's up to you if you want to pick it up. You can skip this one if you want to, unless you really, really want to see the complete series of the X of Swords. I'm not saying it's not a bad issue. I'm just saying that as far as the overall arc, not a lot happens.
All right, guys, let's go. I enjoyed all 3 of my books, Paul. I gotta warn you. All 3, pretty solid. I'm going to start with Mighty Morphin. I figured this is a thing we should tackle. I know I've reviewed a ton of Power Rangers on this channel, and I'm not a huge Power Ranger guy, but I keep coming back to it because it's pretty solid work every time I dive into it. If you're not familiar, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is going to split into Mighty Morphin, and then Power Rangers. And I believe it has the same writer in Ryan Perot? That guy. Basically, there's a new Green Ranger. They don't know who this is. and they're just trying to figure out if they're friend or foe. There's a lot going on here. You get a little bit of a background into some of the characters. What's the dude's name with the face? The blue face guy? I forgot his name. Paul, help me.
I don't even know what you're reading.
You should pay attention to me, Paul. What was his name?
I don't know.
Ah, Paul, you derailed the whole thing. Zordon. Zordon?
Yeah, Zordon.
Zordon?
Yep.
Zordon. Zordon? You're going to have to edit the shit out of this. You should have paid attention.
Nah.
No, we're just going to let it go? Well, that's disheartening. Yeah, it's Zordon. I met that guy once. He was super nice. Anyways, that has nothing to do with this. This book was really good. If you like Power Rangers, it's more the same. It's continuing the story forward, which is just this massive world building they've already made. And I just really enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not a Power Ranger guy. I never have been. But every time I pick up one of these issues to read it for you guys, essentially, because I know it's what you guys like, I can't say anything bad about it. It's pretty solid.
Next up, we have Marauders, issue number 14. Usually my favorite book, but kind of like X-Men, not a lot happens. Just not a ton happens. The dinner of the fallen heralds, basically like the precursor to the contest is happening. Literally, the only thing happens is right at the very end of this book. Shocking. I don't know how it's going to play out, but it could change the whole thing, or it could just be a teaser, and it's just going to make us want to buy the next book. It was a nice storm story, but again, it's kind of backstory. You don't really need it. Literally, the last two panels, the first panel and like the last two panels are the only thing that really matters to kind of propel the overall story arc forward. So grab it if you like.
All right, time for me to talk about another book, and I'm going to spoil the book Paul is reading off camera right now because Paul is not paying attention to me, and I feel very awful about it. I feel very worthless right now, like a piece of scum. I paid attention to your reviews. Anyways, it's Donny Cates' crossover, number 1. This is a weird book. Donny Cates, I don't know what you're doing, but I kind of like it. It's just so weird I can't wrap my head around it. Essentially, what you have here is every comic book hero and villain ever becomes real. They pretty much appear over Colorado, and they start blasting each other to bits. Eventually, somebody throws a force field, a big dome over Colorado. Colorado gone. Bye, Leander.
Bye, Leander.
I do miss Leander. He great.
But it's okay. Jubilee's alive in that world.
Jubilee would be alive in that world, so go find her. She'll sparkle protect you. And be nice to Leander.
Sorry.
This is just a very strange book. Basically, comic book stores is like a bad thing, and religious people are out to make you feel bad for wanting to participate in a comic book store. A character does escape from the dome. They actually have the little dots all over their face, like they're colored that way. Very weird. This is so incredibly weird. The Zipatone look. Yeah, oh, it's cool, but I'm just like, what is this? I don't understand what, I mean, I get it, but what are we doing? What are we doing? There's a write-up by Donny Cates at the end talking about how this is something he felt he wanted to do, and he's like, it's just weird. I don't know if it'll work. I just had to do it, and here it is. And I applaud that. So, something very different from him, though. So if you're like, I don't know if Donny Cates, he does everything so good, that Thor Venom stuff and Surfer, great. This is very different from that. So just know that. It's still good. It is weird. It's very weird. Donny Cates, you weird. This is weird. Hi, Donny Cates.
What is my pick of the week? It is Origins, issue number 1. It's 1 of 6. This is a very interesting book. It's a very quick read. Basically what has happened, the world has ended. This is a rebuilding society kind of thing. It starts with a story of how this main character came to be, and you learn that the world has ended. It has been gone for a very long time, and this solitary woman named Chloe, we don't know how she got here or why she got here or why she's still around, found the skeleton and cloned our protagonist, or what should be our protagonist, into a very hostile world. And we don't quite know why, but we're getting hints of how this world ended. And if it goes the way I think it goes, this is going to be a really interesting book. So it could be a very interesting 6-part series that could build into a larger world. It has happened. Kind of like Once in the Future was a mini series, and then it ended up becoming an ongoing. So we don't know if same thing will happen with this, but it was a really intriguing story. The writing was solid. It gave you just enough to decide if you want to like the book or not, and the watercolors and the art was just beautiful throughout the entire story. So if you're looking for something new, you don't want to really be committed to anything, this is only going to be 6 issues, or it could be more. It depends. Like I said, Once in the Future was a 6-issue mini, and now it's like issue 14 and going. But this is an awesome read, and it is something you should be grabbing this week.
All right, guys. What is my pick of the week? Well, I'll tell you. It's Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, issue 1. How about that, Paul?
Not expecting that at all.
I know, and here we are. This book is awesome. It has 3 different stories in it with a lot of people, so let's get to it. Jerry Dugan does the first one with Adam Kubert and Frank Martin. The Beast Within Them, that is a Weapon X story where he is being experimented on, and they're kind of releasing him into the wild to take on wildlife and different critters to see how strong he is. They're gauging him. And then you have your second story is Matthew Rosenberg, who's great, with Joshua Carasa and Guru FX, I Shall Be a Wolf. Pretty good story involving a younger Nick Fury and I guess a younger Logan. They felt younger. They felt like they were just in Russia or someplace, beating the crap out of Hydra. Really cool creative story there. And then Declan Shalvey. I love Declan Shalvey. He's my Moon Knight artist. He's great. He does a story, a solo Wolverine story, where he fights a bunch of dudes that are not cool. And basically, it's just 3 really solid stories. All 3 of them are good. I couldn't say which one I preferred, honestly. Overall, it's just wild. It's great. The only color palette, black, white, and red. And sometimes it's really cool. Like, a lot of times the red is clearly going to be blood. But there's other times where the panel work. Give you an example there.
Oh, that's pretty.
It sometimes it's good, sometimes it's a little hard to follow, but I do think it's a cool idea, and overall, it's just super solid. So I don't want to give away too much, but the art is super cool in this, and I like the idea of just using a 3-color palette. So if you want a good Wolverine story, grab this one, because it's pretty solid. All right, that's it. We did it. We got to the end. Nothing to really plug. Capes and Scowls. We have a new T-shirt up on Teespring. It's involving a knife puppy. So if you want to learn about the knife puppy, you got to listen to some old episodes of Tapes and Scowls. But there's a knife puppy T-shirt, which everybody loves.
With, like, dogs?
I love dogs.
You either want to kill them or like?
I don't want to kill them. No, this dog has its own agenda and its own knife. The dog is not your friend in this one.
Oh, okay.
He's just very sharp. You got to be careful. But yeah, that's up if you want to do that. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. That's it, Paul. I hope you have a good week. I'll see you next week. People out there, have a good week.
I mean, you guys, you too.
Oh, me? Yeah, I will. I will have a great week. I'm going to sit at home and do nothing. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah, you have like extra days off.
I do. I don't know how that happened, but there it is.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. So thank you, everybody, and we will catch you next week. Enjoy your week. Enjoy things. Life's not so bad. Enjoy it.